What is up, home workout and bodyweight exercise fans? Having my morning walk here, 7 a.m. in the Netherlands. And I thought of making a video since I haven't been uploading that much content lately. I've been super busy. I'll be getting back to my more frequent video uploading schedule coming next week. So I thought of talking since I was listening to uh, an audiobook self-development related. I thought of talking about self-development, the three most powerful tools for every person that wants to improve his life, to make something better out of his life, to live a more fulfilling, happier life, a more meaningful life. So starting with tool number one, that's self-observation. And what do I mean by self-observation? Learning to observe your own thoughts, your behavior, learning to understand your biases, learning to see how your emotions drive you a lot of times and cloud your judgment, learning how you self sabotage yourself, understanding when you're wrong, when you're not aware of it, understanding a lot of subconscious things that are going on that you weren't ever aware of, and in general, getting to know yourself better because that's when you can change yourself the most. So, how do you do that? The first thing that has basically been the catalyst for everything on my self development journey was mindfulness meditation. So, learning did I say shit? Learning to sit um, calmly in a silent place, just you and your own thoughts, and observing your thoughts without letting them carry you away. Learning to look at them critically, learning to be an external observer of yourself. And I know that there are a lot of ways of meditation and this and that, but I'm just giving you here a general explanation of how I use meditation. Now, ever since I started meditating, I started being so much more aware of things I was doing I wasn't aware of. How I was basically sabotaging myself. How I was driven by emotions. How I was wrong in many cases when I thought I was right. Um, it helps. Meditation helps a lot with emotional intelligence. And me personally being a very emotional person all my life, emotions always always affected my judgment a lot, and it's emotions basically led me down to a lot of wrong decisions and kept me away from achieving a lot of things. So, meditation, very important. I'll include some books above, some of my favorites. As a beginner, I would say start with The Joy of Living, The Science of Enlightenment, and 10% Happier. All these three, very important, but especially 10% Happier. That's a book where the author talks about a lot of biases that exist in spirituality, a lot about how people, how basically meditation can sometimes lead you down to a wrong path when you take it to extremes, when you become attached to things such as enlightenment. Anyway, I won't go too deep into that today, but read that book, 10% Happier and The Joy of Living. Start with these two, and once you start progressing, read also The Science of Enlightenment, which is it's not really about enlightenment, but it's a really well-rounded book on meditation. The other thing you can do for self-observation, learning to understand yourself better, is study a lot of psychology. Um, One aspect of psychology that helped me a lot is evolutionary psychology, because a lot of what drives us nowadays is primal wiring, things that were developed through evolution to increase your possibilities of living, of passing along your DNA. So there are a lot of things that are because of that, that nowadays are probably not that functional, but they still drive us. So, for example, the fear of being ostracized, getting left behind by your tribe. That's one of the reasons we are very afraid of being criticized. We are very afraid of putting ourselves out there. We're very afraid of failure, trying new things in our lives. So definitely study evolutionary psychology. The the Moral Animal, really good book. But also other books. Learn to study books on critical thinking, on human biases, and also study childhood traumatic events. So there are a lot of things that affect us as adults are things from our childhood and traumas. Now keep in mind that these traumas don't have to be like really severe things, those can be as well, but also very little things from your childhood can be affecting you up to this day as an adult. Because when you're a kid, you're at a very open and sensitive emotional state where even little emotional jabs from your parents, for example, can create behavioral patterns and things that affect you until old age. So once you identify what these are, you can learn to understand why you are behaving in dysfunctional ways. For example, in your relationships with your friends, with the other sex, with even at work, all kinds of aspects of your life. So definitely learn to meditate and definitely study psychology, evolutionary psychology. Um, Another very good project is actualized.org, I think, or com.org. Yeah, I'm gonna gonna put a link above. This guy has a really cool YouTube channel. I like most of his videos, and he also has like an audio library where you can download all of his videos and listen to them on your phone. Um, so check that guy out, and there you can find any kind of psychology-related topic you feel that you should study and work on yourself. The guy does a really good work. He's very science-based as well, but that he's worked a ton on himself, so he has a lot of experience as well. Moving on to the second most powerful tool for self-development, that's positive visualization. So learning to have a vision of your life, learning to know where you are going, aiming for a better life. Because if you're just a wandering generality instead of a meaningful specific, as an author says, personal author I like, um, you're not going to get anything done in your life. And it's positive visualization is also extremely important for difficult times of your life. When you're struggling, a typical mistake from spirituality is over focusing on being too present all the time. Because when times are rough, um, you don't have to be too present all the time. Um, Presence is good for appreciation, and you still have to work on it when times are bad, but it's also very important to work on positive visualization because that's what's going to carry you out of difficult times. Now, the secret in positive visualization is learning to basically create these positive visions of where you're going in life and setting goals, aiming for higher things in your life, better things, but at the same time, you shouldn't be attached to these. So it's sort of a paradigm. See it like this, every positive vision you have is a vehicle that can help you when you're going maybe through a rough patch. It can keep you positive. It can give you a goal to aim for. It can motivate you to take action. But even if that goal fails, it doesn't mean that you failed. It was just a vehicle. It helped you carry you over through a rough time. And even if you didn't accomplish that exact goal, or you partially accomplished it, sometimes you'll accomplish even bigger things than the goals you've achieved. That's happened to me as well with positive visualization. But still, even when it fails, um, you shouldn't be so attached to the outcome, because it served you as a vehicle. It kept you mentally strong, and from that goal, basically from that timeline you imagined going down to, you can jump to another timeline now, create another positive visualization, and aim for something else. And this way, even though you won't always accomplish the things you set up yourself for, um, there's growth. There's strength that is built as you're working yourself to these goals. So, quick summary of that: have high goals, aim for things that can improve your life. Don't be attached to the outcome when they fail, because sometimes they'll fail, and just learn to appreciate them. Learn to appreciate how they kept you mentally stronger, more positive, and how they also developed you as a person. And from there, you can aim for new, other positive goals in your life. So that's the power of positive visualization. Very important, especially when you're going through difficult times of your life. And the third tool of self development I want to talk today about is exercise, physical exercise. Now, as we said, our primal wiring in our head, when we are stressed, puts us in a flight or fight mode. Basically, negative emotions is your brain telling you that there are unresolved issues that are threatening you. And your body wants to either fight or flight. That's your main, basically, reactive state in your body when you're stressed. But what do? We just sit in a chair and soak in our own stressing hormones, cortisol, and all that, and we don't do anything to diffuse these flight or fight states. Now, yes, meditation and all that helps, but you also have to find a way to flush these hormones out of your body. You also have to find a way to diffuse these chemical states that are produced in your body when you're stressed. And the best way to do that is exercise. Other than being it healthy for you, it's also very important to help you diffuse emotions when things are too difficult in your life. You're handling too much stress. um, Physical exercise will help you balance that, and it will help you calm your emotions more, and that way you'll be able to think more critically, clearly, and keep working on yourself. Because when you're driven by emotions, your life is dysfunctional. You can't get a lot of things done. Your focus is scattered, and in general, you're not being the best version of yourself. So that is why physical exercise is of such importance. In this project, we're big fans of bodyweight exercise, but no, it doesn't have to be one thing. Find one physical activity that works for you, that helps you get it, uh, get emotions out of your system, anger, stress, whatever that is. For a lot of people, it might be running, it might be tennis, football, I don't know, whatever it is. So these are the three most powerful tools of self-development. I advise you to work on them all, and to always have faith in yourself that things are going to work. Always have faith that you can be more, you can improve more. You're not stuck with, you know, whatever society, school, parents told you that you are, that your limiting reality is. You can always work towards better life, towards you becoming a better person, and in the end, being happier. That was all. Quite long video. I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, keep on developing.